Hi. Good evening, Tao. Hello. Your mic is off, Tao. There you are.
Okay.
Okay, I can hear you now. Okay, how are you?
Okay, I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah. How is the weather in Vietnam
It's
today?
very hot.
Same here in the Philippines,
Mm,
actually. It's going to be very hot because it's summer here, okay?
yes.
So since we are a neighboring country also, so
Mm,
that's why you're living in Ho Chi Minh City, right?
yes.
Yeah, in Ho Chi Minh City. So it's very hot in the city actually right now.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, okay. So since we are discussing all about the weather, so we were
Mm,
going to discuss, okay, all about this particular weather condition, okay, called
mm,
global warming. Okay, so here's
yes.
the presentation now.
Yes.
Okay, I hope you can see the presentation.
I see it already.
Ah, very good. Okay. So before we have to continue, let's try to have a review first of our lesson last time. So we were able to discuss all about the use of fewer and the use of less in a sentence, right? How? And
Yes.
we should have to understand that fewer is used for countable nouns and
Mm,
less is used for uncountable nouns. And then if
mm,
we will be going to use fewer, so make sure that the noun should be in the plural form. Like for example, okay, fewer cars. So we do not say fewer car, but it should be fewer cars, fewer floods, fewer
mm,
airplanes, or fewer fires.
mm,
Okay? So the fewer uh, goes after a particular noun that is in the plural form.
mm,
Okay, so today we will be going to continue our lesson. So, letter C, listening part. So, you are going to hear three people talking about a global warming. So, we will going to hear a conversation between three people, and we will be going to write four words about global warming you
mm,
think you will hear. Okay,
mm.
so let's try to hear it now.
Yes.
So track 69.
Recording 69.
The trouble with global warming, everybody thinks any change in the weather is the result of global warming. Occasionally they say, well, yes, last year in America they had lots and lots of hurricanes, and that's due to global warming. But every 30 years or so they get a lot of hurricanes, and it isn't necessarily because of global warming. But the fact there is less ice in the Arctic, that's almost certainly due to global warming. So I'm not convinced that all our weather problems are because of global warming.
Well, global warming. Well, yeah, some people say there is global warming and some say there isn't. I'm not an expert, so I don't really know. I've, um, but I think that we have created a lot of pollution. And I think probably, yeah, we probably need to cause less pollution, like not use aeroplanes as often in order to stop global warming.
Mhm.
It seems to me that the weather's changing. Every summer seems to be a bit hotter, and we are definitely having more problems with the weather around the world. Um, Lots more cyclones, and you hear about floods and all sorts of terrible things happening. Yeah, I think that's because of global warming. In my opinion, we can do something about it. If we try to clean up the environment a bit more, maybe use public transport more often, and heat our houses with solar energy and that kind of thing, I guess that will make a difference.
Okay. So we heard them now, Tao. So what do you think would be the four words that they discuss all about the global warming? Okay, we're going to list down four. Okay,
Mm,
four of the reasons why is it there is a global warming based on their explanation. Okay, you hear there
Po-
about
pollution.
pollution. Okay, so there is pollution in there. Okay, aside from that, what else? So one is pollution. It's because of pollution. So that's why there would be global warming. Okay, aside from the pollution, have you heard about, they mention about weather, change of weather, right? How? Have you heard that? I guess the second speaker, okay, talk about that one. So the weather is going to be hotter and hotter, right? So he was able to mention that.
Cyc-
So, okay, cyclones.
cyclone. Yes.
Okay. So he was able to mention about cyclones. Okay, what else?
Horizon.
Hurricane.
Hurricane.
Yes,
Yes.
the hurricane. Okay.
Hurricane.
Yes, what else? Aside from this,
No, just only three.
okay, so you heard only three. Okay, actually, it's also I heard there, of course, because of this particular
Hotter.
condition. Yes, so the weather is going to be hotter. And then I heard also that the weather is changing, right?
Mm,
So so the weather is changing, so that makes global warming. And okay, the girl mentioned all about airplanes.
mm,
Okay, so airplanes. So the reason why there would be a lot of or there would be what is one causing global warming, it's because of the aeroplanes, according to the girl. Okay, okay, so that would be it now. Now we are going to listen again and pick any words you hear that you wrote in exercise one. Okay. Of course, we already listened, right? So we already pick pollution, cyclones, hurricane, hatter, weather, and aeroplane. So we will not going to listen it again, Tao. Okay.
yes.
Okay. Now, learning tip in here. If you know the topic of conversation, it is a good idea to think about what you know about the topic before you listen. So, what do you think would be this is all about how?
Mm,
So, it's a good idea to think about what you know about the topic before you listen. So, that means
global warming.
yeah, so that means we will
The
going
weather.
to have first, yes, we will going to have first an idea, right? Before we have to listen, let's try to understand first the idea of what's a global warming, okay, for
Mm,
us. Yeah, for a certain person, right? So
yes.
since we have already that particular idea now, so it's easier for us to understand the conversation. Why? Because we have the so-called prior knowledge already.
Mm,
Okay, so when we say prior knowledge, that
mm,
means okay, this particular understanding or understanding okay of the topic. Okay, so prior understanding of the okay of the topic.
mm,
Okay, so if we have this prior understanding of the topic, it's easy for us to listen. Okay, because I know that, right? I we already learned that one. Oh, we already learned about pollution, we already learned about cyclones, we already learned about hurricane, hotter weather, aeroplane. So when you hear them, okay, when you listen to them, so you have now a complete idea of that. Okay, Tao? Okay,
yes.
so that is what we call prior knowledge. Okay, now let's try to listen again. Let's pick the correct speaker or speakers for each statement. Okay. So we have speaker number 1, speaker number 2, speaker number 3. Okay. So we have A, B, C, and D in here. So let's try to listen again, Tao.
Recording 69.
The trouble with global warming, everybody thinks any change in the weather is the result of global warming. Occasionally they say, well, yes, last year in America they had lots and lots of hurricanes, and that's due to global warming. But every 30 years or so they get a lot of hurricanes, and it isn't necessarily because of global warming. But the fact there is less ice in the Arctic, that's almost certainly due to global warming. So I'm not convinced that all our weather problems are because of global warming.
Okay. So who do you think would be that one? So what particular statement speaker number 1 talks about how? Is it A, who doesn't think global warming is causing all our weather problems? Or B, okay, who, there are two people, talks about how we can stop global warming? Or C, who talks about changes in the Arctic? Or D, who, there are two people, talks about problems with the weather? So speaker 1 talks about
A.
letter A. Yes, okay. So why is it in letter A? How? What do you think? Why is it speaker number 1? Okay, talks about that particular statement. Who doesn't think global warming is causing all our weather problems? Okay, why? Because he was able to mention that not all, okay, not all problems in global warming, it's because of the weather problems.
Mm.
Sometimes it is caused by us also people,
Mm.
right? How? Okay.
Mm.
Next, let's try to listen again.
Well, global warming. Well, yeah, some people say there is global warming and some say there isn't. I'm not an expert, so I don't really know. I've, um, but I think that we have created a lot of pollution, and I think probably, yeah, we probably need to cause less pollution, like not use aeroplanes as often, in order to stop global warming.
Okay. So, I sorry. So, speaker number 2 talks about,
Stop global warming.
yes, so that would be letter B. Okay. Next, let's continue.
It seems to me that the weather's changing. Every summer seems to be a bit hotter, and we are definitely having more problems with the weather around the world. Um, Lots more cyclones, and you hear about floods and all sorts of terrible things happening. Yeah, I think that's because of global warming. In my opinion, we can do something about it. If we try to clean up the environment a bit more, maybe use public transport more often, and heat our houses with solar energy and that kind of thing. I guess that will make a difference.
Okay. So, what do you think would be that one, Tao?
Speaker 3 talking about letter C, about
Let's,
changes.
yeah, okay, about the changes in the Arctic, okay, ocean. Okay, now, um, there are two people actually talks about how we can stop global warming. So who do you think that one also? Okay, so speaker number 3 also talks about how to stop global warming, right?
Mm.
How?
Mm.
Okay, what about talks about problems with the weather? Okay,
Two,
speaker number 2
two
also
and
talks
3.
about, yes, and 3 talks about that one. Okay, well, that will be it now, Tao. Now, listen again and answer these questions. What is one problem caused by global warming? Okay, so that's speaker number 1. So can we listen again, Tao?
Mm.
Okay, which one problem caused by global warming?
Recording 69.
The trouble with global warming, Everybody thinks any change in the weather is the result of global warming. Occasionally they say, well, yes, last year in America they had lots and lots of hurricanes, and that's due to global warming. But every 30 years or so they get a lot of hurricanes, and it isn't necessarily because of global warming. But the fact there is less ice in the Arctic, that's almost certainly due to global warming. So I'm not convinced that all our weather problems are because of global warming.
Well,
Okay. So what do you think would be the answer in that one, Tao?
The hurricane.
Okay, so what one problem caused by global warming is
Hurricane.
hurricane. Okay. So, oh, actually, the less ice in the Arctic. Okay, so that would be the main problem because he doesn't believe with this particular hurricane because he mentioned that after I don't know if that's 15 years there would be a lot of hurricane. So the
Mm.
speaker number one doesn't believe that it's because of hurricane. So it's because of, according to him, it's less ice
Mm.
in the Arctic.
Mm.
Okay, so that's the reason. Okay, next, let's try to listen to speaker number two and speaker number three.
global warming. Well, yeah, some people say there is global warming and some say there isn't. I'm not an expert, so I don't really know. I've, um, but I think that we have created a lot of pollution, and I think probably, yeah, we probably need to cause less pollution, like not use aeroplanes as often, in order to stop global warming.
It seems to me that the weather's changing. Every summer seems to be a bit hotter, and we are definitely having more problems with the weather around the world. Um, Lots more cyclones, and you hear about floods and all sorts of terrible things happening. Yeah, I think that's because of global warming. In my opinion, we can do something about it. If we try to clean up the environment a bit more, maybe use public transport more often, and heat our houses with solar energy and that kind of thing. I guess that will make a difference.
Okay, so what are the suggestions? What are three things people could do to reduce pollution? Okay, the second speaker mentioned about not to
Use
use
aeroplane.
aeroplanes. Yes, okay. And then after that, okay, the third speaker actually mentioned to use public, okay,
Transportation.
transport. Yes,
Mm.
so public transportation. Okay. And then he also mentioned to
Use
clean, right?
uh,
He was able to mention also clean up the environment, right? How? Okay. And he mentioned also,
energy house.
yes, so heat our houses using, okay, with solar, right? Solar
Solar. Yes.
energy. Okay, so that would be the uh, um, what is one? Three things, or not just only three things, but we mentioned four things that people could do to reduce the pollution. So, okay, do you think it can reduce pollution, Tao, if we will be going to do this one? What do you think? Do you think if people will going to apply not to use airplanes, use public transportation more often, clean up the environment, heat our houses with solar energy, do you think it will reduce pollution?
Yes.
Okay, in what way, Tao? Okay. Why is it? It can reduce pollution. So if ever, okay, like for example, we will be going to use all of this or follow all of these things, do you think it will reduce pollution
Mm,
that we are facing right now?
because it reduce to reduce the emission.
Yeah, okay. Because of that, yes, there would be to lessen the emission of a particular, let's say, gas that we are
Mm,
using, right?
mm,
Okay, like for example, instead of using your car, okay, in going somewhere, or why don't you use only public transportation, right? Because cars, if we will be going to use cars, not just only in Vietnam, also in the Philippines, in the United States, all
mm,
over the world. Okay, in just maybe an hour, if we will be going use cars, so what happened? There would be a lot of smokes, okay,
mm,
that would come out from that particular cars. So
mm,
instead, we just have to use public transportation if we can be able to use public transportation, right?
yeah.
Then heat our houses with solar energy instead of electricity,
Mm,
right? How? Why? Because sometimes electricity can give also this particular pollution, right? What kind
mm,
of pollution? Because in what is one? The current that we are using is a current coming from, let's say um, let's say from a machine, right? From a
mm,
machine. Okay, so that particular machine also can also emit this particular gas that would create pollution.
mm,
Okay, so I do believe that if we will be going to do all of these things, it can lessen or reduce pollution. Okay, Tao.
mm.
But I guess if we will not going to use airplanes, so what happened if we were going to travel in another countries, right? So it's not possible.
Yes.
Instead, you're going to use a ship. Or what if you're going to go to United States? So going to you. It
Mm,
will take 1 month for you to go there,
mm,
right?
yes.
Okay, so maybe number one is not possible if we will not going to use aeroplanes,
Mm,
right?
yes.
Okay, number two maybe, number
Mm,
three it can be, number four it can also
yes,
be.
sir.
Okay,
Yes.
what about in your country, Tao? Do you have solar energy already?
Yes. Some industrial park encourage uh, business to use solar energy.
Solar energy, yeah.
Yes, for the
Okay.
same as my company.
Oh,
One up three
solar panel.
factory. Yes, has
Wow,
in it is on progress to set up the
solar
solar energy
energy.
system to
Yeah.
use and uh,
Yeah,
yes.
in your company. Now, do you think is it good on your experience? Is it good to use the solar energy, Tao or Tao?
Yes, yes, good. But one up problem that I
Yes,
think now the government not mention about that. That is the pin up.
oh,
That is a material using in a solar system
oh,
because it is the hazardous
yeah.
hazardous, and now no one mention about this. Mm,
Oh,
mm,
so
mm.
there is a danger also in
Yes,
using
yes.
that.
Until now, the government encourages uh, on business to develop, uh, uh, encourage using the solar energy.
Solar energy,
Yes, but they don't mention about
the
the
danger,
yes
the
the
hazard,
danger.
the
Yes,
the
yes, that's
hazard.
right. Because
Ah,
the main material of this system
is
is
hazardous.
yes, yes.
Oh,
Mm.
okay. Oh, I don't know that one, huh?
Mm.
I don't know that one. So this is the first time that I heard that one. But
Mm.
actually, here in our country also, there are
Yes.
also this particular solar energy introduced by other countries also to us. So
Mm.
some of the houses in here, actually, Tao,
Mm.
has their own
Yes.
solar energy nowadays. Yeah.
Actually, there are another kind of energy that is white energy, but
Oh,
it needs a more space to set up this system.
oh,
Mm.
really?
Yes,
But
yes,
that's expensive. I think so.
yes, yes.
Yes,
Mm. But
right.
it's not dangerous
For our health.
for our health for
Oh,
in the future. Mm.
oh, okay.
Yes.
But it's already in the market that that particular energy that you're talking. Why energy? That's the name.
Actually, in my country, there are some province uh,
Ah,
is um, uh,
already
some
had that.
yet the had already had
Oh.
have it already.
Wow, that would be nice. Okay. So
Mm.
it can also what is one? It can also manage, like for example, when you use appliances, it can also support that particular energy. Let's say you are using, let's say, refrigerator, you're using TV, using
Yes,
everything, using
yes,
the AC or the air condition. It can also support.
yes.
Oh, really?
Uh,
Okay.
and in my city, in Ho Chi Minh City, in some rich family,
Yes.
they can use the solar system
Yes.
uh, uh, to use the solar energy,
Oh,
but it's so expensive. Mm-mm.
expensive. Yeah, that's the problem. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Um, yeah, we know that we don't pay for our electricity, but in buying that one, it's going to be expensive also. So that's
Uh,
the problem, right?
when we have the solar system,
Mm-hmm.
we have to connect to the electricity
Yes.
system of the state.
Ah,
Mm-mm. And
okay.
and the different amount from the up
Yes.
electricity that we have we use and we create from the system,
Yes.
and yet we can pay more for the state to the state, or the state will pay back for us.
Oh,
Yes.
really? Okay,
Mm,
so there would be a big difference if you were going to use solar energy compared to the usual electricity.
yes,
So
yes,
you can be able to what is one? There would be a big difference when it comes to the usage, right?
yes. It depends
Uh-huh.
on the level of the our system that we have. We
Ah,
invested. Yes. For
okay.
example, for example, as my company, if we invest uh, for this system with the big amount, we
Mm,
can use we can uh, buy we can sell electricity to to
other
state,
other
yeah, to other.
really?
Yes.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, but it can also generate 24 hours. Let's say, for
Mm?
example, it can generate 24 hours. Let's say using electricity within 24 hours. Okay, you
Yeah,
can you can generate that one. Let's
yeah,
say you have to use your air condition. You can use that
yes,
one
yes, yes,
within 24 hours, and there is
yes,
no time. There is no time limit.
yes. We
Ah,
use it in production. You know that in
yes.
production it's very big. very big amount.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh,
Mm.
that's nice. But the problem is it's
Yes.
expensive. So the
Yes.
first time that you will going to buy that, it's going to
Yes.
be very expensive.
Yes.
Okay. So of course, others who cannot afford that one afford to set up because I think when you set up that one, there would also be labor in set
Uh,
upping that particular panel, right? Or
so
energy.
yes.
You
So
need to pay for the labor, right, How?
yes.
Yeah.
Uh, for my parents' house,
Mm.
uh, we
They
have
have.
a
Ah,
small a small labor uh, energy system.
oh,
But just use only for cooking
ah,
and hot water only. Mm.
yeah, yeah. But not all. It
Not
cannot
on. Yes.
generate.
Yes. Yes.
Ah. So it depends. It depends on how big
Yes.
is your
The
panel.
system. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Ah.
Yes.
Oh, so it means that the bigger the bigger is more expensive.
Yes. That's right.
Oh, now I know. Okay, because I have seen here. Okay, in different houses here, those who are rich
Mhm.
people can afford
Yes.
to do
Yes.
that one. Yeah,
Yes. Mm.
yeah. But for those who are not, we just have to do the same, the usual electricity.
Yes.
Okay, very good, Tao. So I
Mm.
had already an idea on what's a
Mhm.
solar energy all about. Okay? Okay,
Yes.
now for the speaking, talking about the news, so giving options in here. Okay, so these are the particular what is one sentences, okay, from A, B, C, D, E up to F. Okay. Now, what we can do is underline the words the speakers use to give their opinion. So in letter A, it has been underlined, right? It was been
Mm.
given. I'm not convinced. Okay. What about in letter B?
I think
Okay. What do you think would be
I
the,
think the I think
yes. Okay. In letter B, I think, or I'm not an expert. But okay, actually, this one is the words that the speakers use to give their opinion. I'm not an expert, but okay, so this one is the expression. Okay, Tao. Okay, what about in letter C?
it seemed to me.
Yes, so it seems to me that the weather's changing. What about in letter D?
I think that's
Yes. So it's I think, okay, or I think that's because of global warming. Okay, what about in letter E?
in my opinion.
Yes, in my opinion. And what about in letter F?
I guess.
Yes, I guess. Okay. So these are the words that the speakers use to give their opinion. Okay. Like for example, if you are not convinced, so you are going to say, I'm not convinced. I'm not an expert, but it seems to me that the weather is changing, or I think that's, or in
Mm.
my opinion, or I guess that. Okay. So these particular expressions are to give opinion.
Mm.
Okay. Next question, Tao. Which expression means the speaker doesn't believe something?
I'm not convinced.
Yes. Okay. Because why is it you say that I'm not convinced is a particular expression that uh don't believe.
Yes.
Yeah, because of the word not, right? How?
Mm.
Because of the word not. So because of the word not, okay, that becomes doesn't believe something. Okay. Next question. Number three, or three. Which expression means the speaker doesn't have any special knowledge about the subject?
I'm not an expert.
Yes. Okay. So I'm not an expert. Okay. So I'm not an expert because the speaker believe that she doesn't have any idea or knowledge maybe about the subject.
Mm,
Okay, Tao?
yes.
Okay. So do you have questions with this?
Uh,
No more. Okay, let's proceed for the speak up activity. So, what do you think about global warming? Listen to the questions below and give your opinion and try to use all the expressions in speaking strategy. So, in the speaking strategy in here, okay? Okay, let's try to listen first now.
Recording 70. A. Is the weather getting hotter? B. Is global warming a big problem? C. How are people making global warming worse? D. What can we do to stop global warming? E. Should individual people or governments clean up the environment?
Okay. So there is an example in here, Tao. Okay. If
yes.
the question is the weather getting hotter? So you can say, I'm not an expert, but I think it's getting hotter. Okay.
Mm,
Now, what about how to answer? Okay. Question letter B. Is global warming a big problem? Okay, how are we going to answer that one, Tao? Okay, you may say that, okay, you can also say, I'm not an expert,
mm,
but, okay, but I think,
mm.
okay, a global warming,
Warming is a big
okay, yes,
problem.
a global warming is a big problem. Okay, oh, that would be it, Tao.
Mm,
Right? Okay, next. Okay, question number letter C. How are people making global warming worse? So we can also use this one. How uh, I think, I guess, in my opinion, so we can use that one, right? So how are people making global warming worse? So you may say, I think. Okay, I think we cause, right? We cause a lot of pollution.
mm,
Okay. And then by, okay, by using, okay, using cars and aeroplanes, cars and aeroplanes, okay, too much. Okay, so we can also say this one, Tao. So how are people making global warming worse? So uh, possible answer to this, Tao, would be, I think we cause a lot of pollution by using cars and aeroplanes too much. Okay, and there's also possible answer to this one, Tao. So what do you think would be? Okay, can we think of another possible answer when we say how are people making global warming worse? So can we say in my opinion, okay, right now? So you can say in my opinion. Okay, so what are other words that we can be able to put in there? In my opinion, okay, maybe you can say people, okay, are the main, okay, people are the main source, okay, main source of the problem. Okay, right now. Okay, you can also say that. How are people making global warming worse? In my opinion, people are the main source of the problem. So this one also is the possible answer, Tao. Okay? Okay. Do you have any idea of this, or do you have any answer for this, Tao? Aside from this, do you have any idea in answering this question? No? Okay.
No.
Let's proceed. Okay, but actually there's a lot of answers for this, not just only this one tao, okay? Okay. Maybe you can also say that okay, it seems that not, but I think have correct. Okay, look at this. Or you can also say, I'm not an expert, but I
Mhm.
think we have created a lot of pollution. So we can also use this one tao, right?
Yes.
Okay, next question. What can we do to stop global warming? Okay, so we can also say that I guess. Okay, we can use that one tao, huh? Okay, aside from in my opinion, you can also use I guess, but you can also use in my opinion. Okay, but we have to use first I guess. Okay, I guess we could stop, okay, stop global warming by, okay, by what are the suggestions in here just while ago?
Bye.
By, oh, maybe we can say by cleaning up. Okay, by cleaning up the environment. Okay, right now. So this one is one of the solution on how we can stop global warming. And there's also more, okay? Aside from this one, we can also say that in my opinion, to stop global warming is to what? Okay, is to heat our houses with solar energy,
Mm.
right now? Or
Yes.
we can also say that in order to stop the global warming, okay, we have we are, let's say for example, we have to use public transportation,
Mm.
okay, or not to use aeroplanes. Okay, now,
Mm.
okay, next question. Should individual people or governments clean up the environment? So what do you think would be this one now? Should individual people or governments clean up the environment?
Uh, we should.
Okay,
Uh,
we have to say we
uh,
should.
I think
Oh, I think, yes, that's correct. I think
we should
we should
use more
use
public
more,
transportation.
okay, public transportation
Mm.
more often, right? More
Mm.
often. Okay, so Should individual people or governments clean up the environment? Okay. So we can also say that we can, okay. I think we should use public transportation more often. Or in this particular question, we can say that, okay, we can say that it seems that, or it seems to me that the government,
mm,
yes, that the government, okay, government ments
mm,
have, okay, have to do more the cleaning up,
mm.
right? How? Yeah,
Yes.
because it's the work of the government.
Mm,
Okay. Uh, there should be this program. So the
mm,
government should have the program, okay, in
mm,
order to clean not just only the people, not just only
mm,
individual people. Yes,
mm,
we can clean our surrounding, but what about, okay, what about in outside our surroundings,
mm,
right? Now, so therefore, the government should have to do a lot of planning, okay, on how to do the clean up activity. So we can say that it seems to me that the governments have to do more
mm.
cleaning up rather than the people themselves. Okay, Tao? Okay.
Yes.
Can we try to practice this one,
Mm,
Tao? Okay,
yes.
I will be asking you, okay, can you please use this particular answer? Okay? Okay. Is the weather getting hotter? Okay, I'm not an expert.
I'm not an expert, but I think global warming is a big problem.
Okay. Is global warming a big problem?
Ah,
Your
ah, ah, ah.
okay.
Yes.
Okay, question number letter C. How are people making global warming worse? Okay, the
I
question
think
here.
we cause a lot of pollution
Yeah,
using cars and aeroplanes too much.
that's very good. Okay, what can we do to stop global warming?
Uh, I I guess we could stop global warming by clean up the environment.
Yes, okay. Should individual people or governments clean up the environment?
It seems to me that the government have to do more cleaning up.
Cleaning up. Very good.
Mm,
Okay. Okay, next. Okay, what is, oh, there is a learning tip in here. When you give your opinion, it is important to explain your
mm,
ideas. So this helps keep the conversation going and makes it more interesting for the listener. Okay,
mm,
this is what we are doing right now. Like for example, if the question is the weather getting hotter, so you are going to say, I'm not an expert, but I think it's getting hotter. We do not just say, I'm not an expert, and then you stop in there. Because if
mm,
you stop in there, so there is no
mm,
continuation of the conversation. That's
mm.
why if this is the what is one the opinion, so you have to give reasons, right? What are the reasons? I think it's getting hotter. So this one is the opinion, and this one is the reason. Okay, Tao.
Yes,
Okay. Okay, so what's the reason of doing that one? In order to keep the conversations going. Okay, now, what is your opinion on the following statements? Explain your ideas. Okay, like for example, in letter A, children have an easier life than adults. So you may say, I'm not convinced children have an easier life than adults because they have to learn a lot of new things and adults always tell them what to do. Okay,
mm,
that's correct, right?
mm.
Okay. Now, what about when we say English is easy to learn? So, how are you going to answer that one? Okay, Tao. Is English easy to learn? What do you think? Is English easy to learn? In
Yes,
your own opinion?
yes.
Yes.
Uh,
Okay.
I
Yes. Okay. Okay. We have to use the following expressions, right? Okay. So maybe you can say, I think that English
I
is
think that
easy to
easy
learn
to learn
because
because
yes. So why is it easy to learn? English is easy to learn because there would be a guide, right? Okay, so there would be a guide on how to learn English. Okay, and there are also a lot of videos, right, that you can be able to see or watch for you to learn, right? Now, so we can
mm,
also say maybe that. Okay, we can say, I think. Okay, English. Okay, is easy to learn,
mm,
okay, because, okay, because
because nowadays there are many
now, yeah, there are
many
many,
way
yes, ways, okay,
to
on how to learn them.
learn them. Yes.
Right? Yeah. So that would be okay because there are a lot of ways on how to learn
Mm,
them, right?
mm,
Okay, that's why English is easy to learn. Okay?
mm,
Yes, just like watching TikTok,
mm,
watching YouTube, right?
yes.
YouTube, there's a lot. Okay, you
Mm,
just have to search about English, easy English, or something like that. And then you can easily learn that one. Okay,
mm, mm,
next. What about in letter C, Tao? Smoking should be illegal. So, what do you think?
mm, mm.
So, smoking should be illegal because now smoking is legal, right? So, can we be able to
Yes.
make smoking an illegal thing? What about in your country, Tao? Are the people allowed to smoke?
Yes, still, the government still allow people smoke. But they have another way to reduce,
Yeah.
to make difficult, to to limit,
A limit. Yeah. Okay. To
uh,
limit. Yes.
to limit, limit it, to limit this,
Yes.
by to limit by uh, stipulate, uh, by by uh, by take some tests
Okay.
in in production and
Oh,
selling
cigarettes. Yeah.
cigarette. Yes,
Yeah. Oh, okay. So that would be nice. So the
with
government.
with with
Yeah.
high test, with high test. Uh, for example, special test,
Mm.
for smoke, for cigarette.
Ah. Yeah. Also, there is the so-called test for you to let's say, for example, if I am a smoker, okay,
Yeah.
I have to undergo a test. So once I found out that I smoke a lot. So what
Mm,
happened? Let's say, for
uh,
example, oh, I am a smoker person. I smoke a lot. Let's say in one day I can um, I can use two, or let's say three
mm,
packs of cigarette.
mm.
Okay, so there is a test. The government in Vietnam, there is a test for them to understand if you already went through the limit, or higher than the limit. Is that
No,
what
no, no,
you're
no.
okay?
I mean that the government have some test to have some test for production in production or selling cigarette
Ah,
for beside VAT test, beside
okay,
that
okay.
we have some special consumer test with
Ah,
high percent on
of
cigarette
yeah.
in some in
Ah,
cigarette.
okay, okay.
So if the people want to
To
smoke
buy,
to
yeah,
buy, they have to pay more
more.
more.
Ah,
Yes, yes, that's
okay,
right.
okay.
Or
Ah,
in some area, in some public area, the government uh, the, the government forbid forbid
prohibit. Yeah, prohibit.
uh yes,
Prohibit
yes,
smoking, right?
yes, yes, that's right. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
okay. Yeah,
Mm,
same also here in the Philippines now, actually.
mm,
There are, yeah, actually in public places, you
mm.
are not allowed. You are not allowed
Yes, yes.
to smoke. There is
Mm,
this particular area that called smoking area. So you
yes.
have to go there. Okay, if you smoke, you have to go there in that smoking area,
Mm,
and
mm,
then you are not allowed to smoke in the public places. Oh, same
mm.
rules here in the Philippines also.
Yes.
Wow.
Mm,
Okay. Oh,
yes.
so I think it's not possible that smoking should be illegal, right? It's not
Yes.
possible that we will going to illegalize the smoking.
Mm.
Okay, airplane tickets are too cheap. So airplane tickets are too cheap. So what can you say about this one, Tao?
No, I
Okay,
don't
so
think so.
no, I'm not. Maybe you can say no, I'm not convinced, right? Yes,
Yes. No, I'm not convinced
that
that
airplanes
aeroplane tickets
tickets are
are
too
too cheap.
cheap because
Because because
there is no cheaper ticket
uh,
nowadays, right, Tao?
uh,
Yeah.
because until now this is the highest the highest the cheapest. I know the most expensive
Yeah.
transportation.
Yeah, yes. The airplane is the most expensive transportation, right? Because
Yes.
yeah, of all the transports that we have, right? I will also agree with that,
Mm,
right?
yes.
Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, next. Mobile phones should be banned in public places like trains, shops, etc. Ah, are you in favor of this now? That
No, no.
mobile phone?
Yes.
So how are you going to say this one?
I'm not
I'm
convinced.
not. Yeah, I'm
Mm,
not convinced, or you can say I'm not in favor, right? You can
uh,
also say
uh,
that. Yeah,
I'm
I'm
not in
not in
favor
favor that mobile
that
phones
should be banned in public places
places because
because uh, because that is the most popular
yes,
in communication
yes, that's
now.
correct.
Mm,
Right? Especially if you are in the trains, you are going to ride the train, or we don't
mm,
know what happened, right? We
yes.
don't know what happened in there. Maybe it's a form of communication that you can be able to communicate with your loved ones that, oh, I'm on my way going home, right? Now, so
Yes.
if you were going to ban the mobile phone, so there's no use of it, right?
Mm,
So what's the use of that? Okay. Okay, good. Okay, next. Money is the most important thing in a job. Do you believe in this?
Actually, in my opinion, it's 50-50.
Yes. Okay, 50%. Okay, yes, 50% no, right? But
Yes.
for me, Tao, for me, if that is just my opinion, I guess I will agree with this. Why?
Mm, mm,
Because your work, it depends on the person also. Okay, if the
mm,
person is just like for workaholic person, well, he deserves that,
mm.
right, Tao?
Yes.
Okay, just like you, maybe you are a workaholic person, so
Mm,
you deserve a high salary,
mm.
right?
Yes, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, so I guess we have to end up with this one
Mm.
Tao. So we will going to it's the end already of our
Yes.
lesson. So next meeting we're going
Mm.
to tackle the vocabulary, okay?
Okay,
Vocabulary.
okay.
Okay, so thank you so much, Tao.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you
bye
so much. Bye
bye.
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 Yes, bye bye.